Hello and welcome to the Vclass tutorial. Vclass is EBUS's online classroom, and I'm going to show you how to get into it and how to use Vclass. Now, getting into Vclass is very simple. All you need is a link. It's just like a web link that you might click on to get to a website. Usually you'll get that either through an email from your teacher, or you can go to our website and find information and links to our Vclasses there. When you click on the link, you will get a login page. Now, Blackboard Collaborate is actually the program that runs our online room. It's the program that we work in. And when you get this box up, it's your login. So all you have to do is type your name into the box here. Now, I do recommend that kids put first and last name, just because we often have kids with the same first name, so it's good to have a last name to distinguish them between. And also, because we are in an online environment, we don't have kids sitting right in front of us with faces that we can put to names. So having a real name, first and last there, helps us to get to know who the kid is and know who they are. Kids often will want to put in nicknames, which I, as a teacher, usually think is fine. I allow them to do that as long as they have their real name in there as well, so that I can tell who they are. So you might have Jane Darth Vader Doe because she's a Star Wars fan. That's fine as long as I can tell who she really is without the nickname. So you click Login, and while your program loads, you will eventually get a box like this up. Now, if this is your first time going into Vclass, you will get this Accept button here where you need to click accept in order to allow the program to run and do what it needs to on your computer. It might take a little longer the first time you go into Vclass than it does next time, just because things are kind of loading and getting ready on your computer. But the next time you go into Vclass, it probably won't take as long. If there's anything else that pops up and it asks you to accept or click OK, go ahead and do that. And everything that it asks you to do is safe and is needed for the program to run. So you click accept. And once you've done your login process, you will enter a room that looks like this. This is the Vclass room. And I'm just going to show you a few of the things that you need to know how to do when you get into a class. Now, the first thing I usually recommend people do when they get into a Vclass is to do an audio setup to make sure that your microphone and speakers are working for the room. So to do that, you just go up to this little menu bar up here and click on Tools, scroll down to Audio, and then click on Audio Setup Wizard. You'll get the box pop up and it'll take you through some instructions for how to test your microphone and your speaker levels so that you will be able to hear and speak during the class. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole setup with you at this time. I'll go on and show you the other parts of the room. Now, in the top left corner here is the audio video box. This is where students will access their microphone to be able to talk in class. And sometimes the teacher might even allow video use, which is the webcam that might be on your laptop or your desktop computer. Usually teachers don't allow it throughout most of a class, just because running simultaneous video while running the class takes up a lot of bandwidth and it might slow things down a lot for people. So generally we don't use it all the time, but there may be times when your teacher will allow video chat as well. So to click on the mic, or to access your microphone, you just click on this talk button here. And now my microphone is on. You can see it's on because there's a little blue microphone icon here. So you talk, you say what you need to say, and then when you're done talking, you just need to click it again to turn off your microphone. That way the next person will be able to use the microphone as well. Only usually one person can talk at a time, so you click the microphone on, you talk, then you turn it off so the next person can go. The next part I want to show you is the participants box. This is where you will see a list of everyone who is in the class. Now, this is me, Geneva. I am logged in as moderator or teacher, but the screen you're seeing here is me logged in as Jane Doe, as a demo student account. So I'm showing you the screen like it would look for you and your student, your child, when you get into a Vclass. So if there were more people in the class, you would see them all kind of listed below here. Now, the cool thing about this box is that there are some interactive icons that can be used during the class. For example, the teacher might ask the kids if they understood you to give a smiley face. So you could click on the smiley face and it just shows here beside your name, shows for a few seconds, and then it disappears. So it's just like a temporary little way to show how things are going. So you might use the smiley face, Applause is used a lot. You might give thumbs up or thumbs down, etc. Next one you might use is this one. It's an away button, and it's if you have to step away from your computer for a moment, maybe you have to answer the phone or go to the bathroom or grab a bite. This shows the class that you're not actually sitting at your computer at the moment, that you're not available. That way people know not to ask you anything or see if you're there, because they know you're gone for a little bit. Now this is what you would do if you would just step away for a moment. You don't want to actually go and X out, because that'll take you right out of the class. So this is a good way to step away but still be in the class and know that you're coming back. The next icon is the raise hand icon. Teacher might ask the kids to raise their hands and answer a question. So you click on that and you see a number. Oh, I'm still away. I forgot to unclick that. You unclick that when you come back, and then you're back in the class. Now to click on the hand, you can see a number shows up beside your name. This, if there were more people in here, would show as 1, 2, 3, 4. You'd actually get a list of numbers in order of how many of who clicked their hand when. So this is a good way for the teacher to be able to get responses in an orderly way. So people go in an order of speaking that they know they can see. And you just unclick the hand to put your hand back down. If the teacher answers your question or you're done asking your question, then you just unclick the hand and your hand is no longer up. And the last one is a poll button. Now the teacher might have a yes, no, true, false question, or they might even have a multiple choice one, in which case you would see A, B, C choices in this box as well. And the kids could just click on these and they show there, and the teacher might share the responses to show the class how they've all answered. So that is the participant window. Next one, which is a really cool one, the kids really love this, is the chat window. Now, this chat is very similar to MSN or any other kind of chat program that you might be used to on a computer. And the kids use it to talk to each other in the class. The teacher might use it to chat with the kids by type as well as with microphone. And as you can see, this chat is supervised. So that means that the teacher can see all of the chat, all of the talk that goes on in this box. Now, there is an option for students to be able to talk to individual students privately, so they might choose another student to message privately within the chat, the Vclass room, but the teacher can always see all private chats. And that's a good thing, just because you want to make sure that everything is appropriate and kids are not talking to each other in a way that is inappropriate. So you can see everything that's going on, so just it's good for kids to know that you can still always see what they're doing. Now to use the chat window, you can see I've started a conversation there. All you do is you click on this little white bar and you hit enter, and it just shows up in the box above. And this will just be like a running conversation, a running chat that everyone will be able to see. And there are little icons that can be used as well, so the kids always have fun with those. Now, the cool thing about any of these three boxes is that they can actually be detached from this bar. So you can take your chat box and move it and expand it so that you can see more of the chat. Teachers might do this actually to be able to see more of the chat at once instead of just a few lines. And if you want to put it back, you just move it over and away, back it goes. And it can be moved around within that bar too, so you can put the chat higher or lower, wherever you want. It's up to you. Now, the next thing, and probably the most important part of a Vclass, is this main area here, which is called the whiteboard. This is kind of where all the action is in a class. The teacher will bring in screens, usually PowerPoint screens, and this is where the lesson is, or the activities are. And this board is interactive. The teacher will draw and write on here, and often the kids will draw and write on here as well. And everyone will be able to see what we're doing. Now, right now you can't see a toolbar. There's no way for the child to write on the whiteboard, because I usually, and many other teachers as well, usually have the class set up so that when kids come in, the tools aren't available until the teacher is there to give them their tools. And that's just a kind of a safety and security thing, so that kids aren't in here doodling and chatting without supervision. But I'm just going to make it so that there are privileges. Now you can see there's a toolbar here. And this toolbar is actually very similar to any paint program that you might have used before on your computer. The tools are very similar. This one is just the pointer here. And this one is the variety of pointers. So you can choose, and the teacher will do this often too, you can choose a different pointer to use on the whiteboard. This one here is the pen option. And there are two types of pens. Now this pen here, that solid one, is a solid pen, like this. And you can choose the size of your brush stroke by clicking there. You can make it thin or thick, and you can choose the color as well. You can change that, which is fun. So you can doodle in different colors. Now the other pen that you see here is a highlighter tool. This one with the little hollow center is a highlighter, and it's just exactly what it says. It's a highlighter. I'll change the stroke so it's bigger. Teacher might ask the students to use this. Oh, I didn't actually. There we go. I didn't actually click on it like I should have. Teacher might ask the students to use this one. Maybe they're doing a word search. They don't want the words showing, or they don't want the words covered up underneath, but they want them to highlight them. So this is the highlighter tool. You can also choose a color and a brush stroke size for that as well. And then next we have the text tools. Students and teacher can actually type on the whiteboard. So you would use one of these. You click on it, and then you click on the board, and you can type right on the board. And teacher will often have activities that include interaction like this in the class. And again, you can choose font, size, and color. Now these ones here are just shapes. You can do either circles or squares. Solid one, solid circle, or you could do a hollow square, or a hollow circle, or a solid square. And there's a line, oops, need to click on it, line, and such. So those are the main tools that are used on a whiteboard. Teacher might have students use many of these during a class. These are the basics of a Vclass. There's not a lot of other things that you will be asked to use during a Vclass. You can see that the use is very easy and intuitive. Kids especially really kind of pick up on things very quickly and will be whizzing through this in no time. We run classes right from K to 7 and on, and kindergarten kids use these very well. So these are just some of the main things that you need to know for using a Vclass. You'll probably find other things as you go, but this will get you started. So thank you for taking the time to watch this tutorial, and happy Vclassing. I hope you have fun in a Vclass sometime soon. And now I'll show you how to leave a Vclass. You just click on the X, and then it'll say, do you want to leave the session? And you click OK, and away you'll go. That's it. Thank you for coming to the tutorial, and hope to see you in a Vclass soon. Bye.